Hello, friends from the comic and manga world. My name is Hector,
And my name is G.
and we are here to talk to you about the our picks for the January 6th FOC that is coming up. First of all, Happy New Year. This is our first video of the year. Well, first recorded video of the year. And we hope you had a great 2024. We're looking forward to 2025, and this is the way to get started. G and I work for Penguin Random House. We manage sales into the direct market around the world. So titles that we talk about in these videos are from publishers that we represent there, and we're on social media. We're on X, on Facebook, on Instagram, and of course on YouTube. You can find us at PRH International Comics, and we'll leave some links in the description of the video for you. And without further ado, let's get going. I should note also that there isn't a lot of comic books in this FOC, so we're going to talk a little bit more about trades than we usually do. But here we go. We get started with Marvel 2-in-1 Omnibus Volume 1. And it has two covers. It has this Gil Kane, which is the main cover that you see on the left. And I believe yes, John Buscema is the one on the right. Both of them are very classic covers, obviously. And if you don't know what 2-in-1 is it started as a way to feature the thing, Ben Grimm. He was becoming very big in the 70s. And obviously, he was in the Fantastic Four comic book and the ongoing, but people wanted to see stories of him outside of the Fantastic Four family. And they started featuring him, and he would they let me first mention what's in here. It's Marvel feature 11 to 12, then also Marvel 2-in-1 1 to 20 and 22 to 36. Then there's the annual from Marvel 2-in-1 from 1976, Fantastic Four annual from 1963, number 11, and Marvel Team Up number 47. So the Marvel 2-in-1 were all these stories where Ben Grimm would team up or fight against another character. It would be like you see Man Thing on the left, and he would fight against them, or he would team up, with the Avengers or the Guardians of the Galaxy, or he would just every issue would be a different story with a different team up or fighting against. And at the end of 11 issues, this volume one collects, I think it's around 40 issues of those stories. After the number 100, then they give Ben Grimm the thing his own ongoing series. So this is those stories, and I believe there's only been omnibuses for the thing, the ongoing. There's never been omnibus for the Marvel 2-in-1, which are sort of they're not his first stories because he was with the Fantastic Four, but it is sort of his first solo stories, right? So this is kind of cool. It's cool for the fans of the thing, and it's also cool because obviously we're gonna get a newer version in the MCU very soon of Ben Grimm. So just in time to get you caught up if you're a fan of the character, or if you're not, to get caught up on it. It's very cool. And I do want to mention real quick. I mean, there's a lot of artists in this. Bill Mantlo, Marv Wolfman, Steve Gerber, Roy Thomas, Ron Wilson, Sal Buscema, Len Wayne, Harold Marcos, and the rest of the whole 100 issues, even Frank Miller and Jack Kirby and George Perez, and there's almost everybody who's anybody in Marvel at some point had something to do with the Marvel Tune Ones. And I also so the characters too go from, like I said, Man Thing, Guardians of the Galaxy, Avengers, Spider-Man, Thor. I mean, almost any character you can think of, both heroes and villains in the Marvel universe, kind of show up and at some point in one of these Marvel and 2-in-1 stories. So very cool. It's very exciting. I love the concept of this, and I love Ben Grimm. So this is uh, got me really excited that we're getting this. Here you go.
All right, next up is my pick. This is Small Town Spirits. This is from the creative team of Zach Keller, who did work on Hotel Rem and Cuphead, for example. This also kind of this kind of reminds me, at least a premise of Kingdom Riders, if any of you has also read that. Both titles, this one and Kingdom Riders, they're both like all ages, an all ages comic, so it's perfect for like any type of reader to get into. So a little bit about this. Basically, there is a town in Ireland where people still do the Halloween celebrations, but in the old-fashioned way. So there is actually an annual sporting competition to honor the spirits for this day. So every year we have these perfect, prestigious, the perfect, prestigious Odell family, who's well known in the area, who makes an absolute mockery of a lovable but laughable Flanagan family at Spirit Games. It's like a head-to-head between these two different warring families in
Mm.
a way, and they dash their dreams at winning. But this year we have this teenage troublemaker named Pad Flanagan who plans to change everything, and he tricks the spirit of the ancient Celtic hero into training his family for the big event. So when he does that, he accidentally opens this supernatural floodgate of mischief, monsters, and unfortunately threatens to destroy the town. So like taking this warring families into, and it's just trying to get ahead for this competition. A flood of supernatural chaos ensues. I was drawn to it like very much because of the beautiful illustrations that I did want to show you on the next slide, where you can see this spread, which is
Hmm.
very beautifully done. I really like the character designs on these that the creator has done. There's just so much there's so much that you can get by looking at every inch of this page. Like the
Yeah.
cow.
The
uh,
sheep under the table
the
or by the
sheep.
table.
I
Yeah.
like that the dog amidst
Oh, it's
all
a
of this
dog. Sorry, I
chaos.
thought it was a sheep. It's a dog.
Yeah, I think it looks like a dog that is watering some sort of
Yeah. What is
vegetation.
it? Yeah, I don't know.
I
But
don't know.
anyway.
It looks very humorous and
Yeah,
fun,
yeah, yeah.
and the art is very beautiful, and it just drew me in. So I had to mention this.
Yeah, and there's a cat watching the dog going like, what the heck?
Yeah.
Anyways, it gives me very Gravity Falls vibes too, which is
Mhm.
very cool. So you know. Anyways, we continue with Kill All Mortals. This is the trade, obviously collected edition of the 5 issues of this miniseries, and is written by Zach Kaplan and illustrated by Fico Ocio, Tiago Rocha, and Hassan Otsmare El Hau. And if you don't know, it was one of the big sort of surprises of this year, of last year, and it did really well. It received not only by readers but also critics. Got really good reviews. Really quick is I'm just gonna read the paragraph of what's it about. It's 1,000 years ago, Viking explorer Eric the Red and his 4 adult children discover a mysterious source of immortality. Now, in our modern world, they're enigmatic billionaire family with powerful banking empire. Now, there's more to it, and obviously, you see a character here who is the daughter who decides, uh, that I'm gonna take over the family business, and so uh, it is it is compared a little bit to Succession because there's this fight for control of the family and the family business, but it's immortals fighting each other, trying to kill each other, but they can't die because they're immortals, but they try. Very gory, very bloody, but there's also a lot of scheming happening. Very, very cool. And I also want to say it obviously they don't mention, they say it's Succession meets John Wick with Immortal Vikings, but I think they missed the opportunity by saying it's also like Highlander. Those of you from the 80s and 90s who remember Highlander. Anyways, very cool coming up. It's on this FSC, goes on sale in April. All right.
Okay. All right, and then this Living Hell issue number 3, I particularly was drawn to the cover A, and Caitlin Yarsky is the cover artist here. So this one, if you don't know much about, basically we have this character Jeremy who has his unfortunately his best friend's blood on his hands, and his only solace is that he is still free from the clutches of hell. And so, meanwhile, while this is going on, there's a character named Toby who witnesses his father's murder and now knows about Jeremy's terrible secret. And so, things are really spinning out of control. And despite Jeremy's best efforts, might be caught up in the crosshairs of like this drama that is happening in the story. So we have this up and coming creator and debut author, Caitlin Yarsky, who at this point, if you've picked up the previous issues, hopefully you did. I was completely, I personally was drawn to the story. It is a 4 issue series. So this is issue 3, so you have one more left.
Mhm.
And I chose this cover because I like how, despite all of the murderous issues at hand that is happening here, it looks like like the character having a joyride, right? Like
Yeah.
enjoying just like taking a drive
Yeah.
in the ride that he has. So I don't know. I just really like the cover, so I had to
Yeah.
include this
This
here.
character could be related to Beetlejuice. It looks a lot like Beetlejuice.
Mhm.
Anyways, next up. We continue with my only cover pick for this month, for this week, sorry. Star Trek Section 31 Emperor Born variant, retailing 7th 1 in 10 by Annie Wu. I love Annie Wu's art. We talked about her art before. And of course, you got Michelle Yeoh's characters drawn by Annie Wu. I mean, this is amazing. And if you don't know, this is written by Alyssa Wong and illustrated by Megan Livens. And this is a one shot sort of. It says it's a spin-off. I don't know if it's like a prequel or after. It's just a separate story of uh, the character in I forgot her name. And I can't find the name of the character, but you know which character here that Michelle Yeoh plays in Section 31, which is part of Gregio. I can never pronounce it. But anyways, from Star Trek Discovery, but now there's going to be a movie specifically for Section 31, and this character that is going to stream in a Paramount Plus and in outside the US wherever there's Paramount Plus, but also if there's isn't, I think other platforms are gonna have it. And everybody who's Star Trek fan is very excited about this movie that's coming January 24th, but also fans of Michelle Yeoh because this character is an amazing character in itself. It's a villainous sort of character. What's the word that I'm looking for too? It's sort of like anti-hero, but really more of a villain, and she plays it amazingly. But I mean, it's Michelle Yeoh too. So, and I keep saying Michelle Yeoh because I'm a big fan of Michelle Yeoh. But so this is something. Again, it says that it doesn't, the description doesn't give a lot of about the plot, doesn't say anything about the plot. Oh, and of course, in the description is the name Emperor Philippa Gregory. Sorry, but it says that it's a different adventure, and it's sort of a spin-off from Section 31, the movie. So looking forward to this. I love this art. This is so good. But the other two covers are also very, very good. There's even one that is the sort of the photo of Michelle Yeoh on the poster of the movie Section 31. So there you go. That's it.
Mhm.
I'll stop saying Michelle Yeoh now.
Now this one, I it's like absolutely a requirement of me to pick this up
Yeah.
because of the story locale. But this one is Let This One Be a Devil, issue number one. This is cover A with artist Gavin Fullerton on art. And the reason why I say that is because this is part of a true weird story, just so you know, that Tinian and a group of people have done. We have like collections too, like um with true weird stories. But anyway, I digress. This one is set in the early 1900s. We have Henry Naughton who returns home to his family farm in the swampy pine barrens of southern New Jersey, which is where I live and grew up in. One night he encounters a strange predator stalking in the woods, and this sends the young scholar on a research project that uncovers the legend of the of Mother Leeds and the terrible birth of the Jersey Devil in 1735. My high school mascot was
Mm.
the Jersey Devil. So, so of course, I live near the Pine Barrens. So I used to at least. And anyway, this is, of course, I mentioned before, James Tynion the Fourth, and other creators, as you can see here. And yeah, this is the first issue of the new True Weird Tales, and this in particular would be a four-issue series. And I thought that the cover was cool, and yeah. I
Yeah,
just had to. Yeah, I can't not pick this up. So,
of course. You have to talk about it. And
oh,
that's it
and
for, yeah, for
yeah.
picks. But we have some news. So, G, can
Yes,
you?
I wanted to mention this, or at least introduce it. This is Seven Seas. They did announce this, but I wanted to like bring attention. We both wanted to bring attention to it.
Hmm.
And this one is the 12 Kingdoms Book One, Shadow of the Moon, Shadow of the Sea, Part One. So there will be more coming out. So this is an epic novel series that inspired the hit anime with an all-new translation. With this edition that's coming out from Seven Seas, you'll expect this around like the summer of 2025. So be on the lookout. A little bit about the story: we have this high school student, Nakajima, who is approached by this and I who's approached by this like blonde-haired stranger named Kaiki, and her life is turned upside down. So whisked away into this perilous world of the 12 Kingdoms. This is a realm filled with like beasts, ancient prophecies. It has political intrigue, and we have this character, Nakajima, who finds herself alone, and she's also hunted. So, with dangers at every corner, she must fight to survive, while grappling with the shocking revolutions of her true identity, which could shatter everything that she thought that she knew. So, it's for readers who really want to get into like a very breathtaking fantasy world, again, where nations rise and fall, filled with the political intrigue,
Yeah.
for those who want that, and a destiny for those who want to seize it with this
Yeah.
really epic story. I know Hector
Yeah,
has watched anime.
I was mentioning to G before we started
Yeah.
recording the video that I love this story, and it's one of those that I know it was available to read in English at some point, but I missed it, and I'm glad that we're gonna have it and with a new translation. But it's and the anime, I love the anime. There's 45 episodes of it, but I know that um it's it's missing a lot of the story, and it comes obviously from light novels, and usually when that happens, there's a lot that stays on the page um, that they can adapt. And it felt like that when I first watched it, like, oh, there's got to be more story. It's such an epic story. The world building on this is amazing. It's very deep and rich. The characters are so so good. Um, and you find these very strange sort of creatures that show up, and very interesting interactions with the main character, Yoko Nakajima, who you see here. So it is a very big, and there's a lot of following, by the way. I know when it came out, I was a fan of it, and I know there was a lot of fandom for this. So it's one of those classic ones that I think the newer generations haven't really um, haven't really followed up on it because it hasn't been available. But now it's back, so I'm glad that they're bringing it back and they're doing a new translation too. I'm glad
Mhm.
about that too. So there you go. And that's it for this week. Thank you so much for watching. We hope you enjoyed this video, and that you coming back and watching our videos. We have a bunch of them in our YouTube channel, and you can also follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and X, and under at PRH International Comics. We'll leave links in the description. But that's it for this week. Thank you so much. Goodbye.
Bye, everyone.